Tempered chocolate can be utilized to create several different garnishes for desserts. Chocolate curls are one of the classic garnishes that can complement almost any dessert or plating. They also add a nice texture and visual interest. To begin making some chocolate curls, start with tempered chocolate at a warm working temperature. Take some of the chocolate. Make sure your bowl is still on the towel to keep it from getting too cold. Have your offset spatula ready. We're going to be using a cocoa butter transfer sheet. Make sure that the textured surface is up. We're going to just spread a little bit on here and you can use a comb. Just spread it across. Apply enough pressure, drag it all the way to the end, clean off your comb, and then give this a moment to set until it doesn't look wet and on top anymore, just a little bit dull, and then we'll bend it and make a curl shape. Once it starts to get a little dull, gently curl, not too tightly, but you can roll it up at an angle. Set it down on your tray. When it's ready and we're done with our second sheet, we'll put it in the refrigerator to allow it to firm up. That way it will transfer really well. What happens is the chocolate, because it's tempered, makes a good contact with the cocoa butter pattern on the acetate sheet. And when we put it in the refrigerator, it gives it enough time to pull away, and then we'll get a beautiful shine as well as the pattern transferring on top of the chocolate. Another way to make some interesting decorations is a curl shape, but we're going to spread the chocolate onto the transfer sheet or acetate first, very thinly with our offset spatula, and then when it starts to set a little, I'm going to use that spatula or a knife to drag through it, make some lines, make some nice diamond shapes, and then we'll curl that up and make some really neat decorations as well. It's important for your chocolate to be lump-free to do something like this. To help smooth out the look, just hold one side down, lift up a corner, give a little vibration. Just wait about a minute to let it set. We'll let some of the shine go away, and then we can make the lines. That way when I drag the lines through it, it will hold its shape really well and won't flood back in. Because the shine is now going away, it's drying up a little bit. Before it sets all the way, just gently curl it. Just gently set it on your tray, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator to also chill so that it gets set nicely and takes off a beautiful shine. There are many texture sheets, impression mats, and molds available for making unique garnish pieces, but one that is readily available to experiment with is bubble wrap. This can be molded and then cut into shapes, or even used to shape bowls for other desserts. To create chocolate bubble wrap, begin with a clean sheet of wrap. So we're going to take this, make sure that the textured side is up. We're going to pour chocolate and spread it on using our offset spatula. We're going to leave this one flat. We'll put it on our tray and refrigerate it to firm it up, and then afterwards we'll crack it into random abstract shards, which will make really neat garnishes. So you want to put a nice amount of chocolate on the wrap and then work quickly. Spread it over. It can be a little bit thick so that it holds its shape well. And then we just slide it onto our tray. We're going to put it in the refrigerator to firm up. After about 10 minutes, we can take it out and it'll be nicely set and we can crack the different shapes. Chocolate cigarettes can be a great accent piece that are larger and more elongated than just curls. But with a similar general idea, they can also add height to plated desserts. To make a chocolate cigarette, start by spreading the tempered chocolate very thinly onto the counter or pastry board. So you want to start off with a nice cool surface, whether it is a marble or granite cutting board or countertop. You want something that is smooth and seamless. You don't want to have any tiles with grout lines. You want a nice, smooth, polished surface. Take a towel and buff it so it's really nice and clean and free of any water spots or any other debris. And then we're going to use our offset spatula to spread it very thinly. And then I'm going to use a bench knife, or in this case, this is a very nice chocolate spatula that I'll use to make a motion like this that will cut the chocolate and roll it up and make the cigarettes. So now we just have to wait for the chocolate to start to dull a little bit so that we know that it's cooling down. And the trick with the cigarettes is getting them at just the right time. If you start too soon and it's shiny and wet, it will just wrinkle and it won't roll up. If you wait too long and it's completely set, you miss the point where it's about to roll, then you just end up making shards. So it does take some practice. Give them a little roll, make them nice and tight. If you want them a little bit fatter, start a little further back. Notice the angle of the blade is about 45 degrees to the counter. If you want, you can roll them up just a little bit more so they're nice and clean at the edge. And they're ready to go. While these are just some examples, tempered chocolate is such a great product to experiment with. Chocolate garnishes are an easy way of enhancing desserts and making any presentation more artistic and beautiful.